so much
alien orgies.
So much weird alien threesomes and foursomes, and I don't even know.
Weird alien sex, man.
Hey, it's Sue.
And Megan in the restricted section.
Today we're going to be doing a review of the book Dawn by Octavia Butler, which is this is the bind-up of the entire Xenogenesis, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Series. I think I called it Exogenesis.
I always say Exogenesis, which is not correct. No.
It's the Xenogenesis
right.
series, and Dawn is book 1.
Yes.
And
we are going to be drinking this red and black porter.
And it's the Trooper Iron Maiden beer.
Yes. It is from Cheshire, England.
And this is limited edition, the porter is.
Yes.
I think their regular Trooper beer is not limited, but they have different special kinds that are limited. It's not super flavorful. It's a little bland.
A little bland. Yeah. It's okay.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
I'm disappointed in you, Iron Maiden.
I was expecting something like Iron Maiden to like punch me in the mouth.
Yeah. Bam, bam.
Right in the mouth.
It's still good though.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it. I enjoy the flavor.
I like it.
Alright, so Dawn. Dawn is about a woman named Lilith who wakes up in like an isolation room.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't know where she is or who has put her there. And the Earth has had like a nuclear war.
Yep, the US and Russia decided to just nuke the fuck out of each other.
Yes, which might be reality.
Depending on the way this election goes, we might be facing the future.
Yeah. And so the Earth everyone is dead.
Most everyone died in nuclear winter.
But these alien creatures have rescued some people, and she is one of those people.
Right.
But when she first wakes up, she doesn't know who has her. She can hear them, they can talk to her, but she doesn't know who they are.
Right.
Or what they are.
They ask her a bunch of questions, and then if she doesn't kind of behave or respond the way that they want her to, they put her back to sleep.
Yeah. So she's been awakened several times before this.
The final time she wakes up, she finds out what they are. She finds out how long she's been asleep total, which I think
was
it's like 250 years post nuclear war and nuclear fallout. She's been in like cryo sleep for a long time.
Right.
Yes.
And they sort of choose her
to lead an expedition of other humans back down to re-inhabit Earth.
Yes.
They teach her the ways of their people.
The Oankali. That's what they're called.
Oankali, and allow her to live among them and learn their language and learn their culture and kind of assimilate in with them.
Yeah. These aliens are like hideous to humans.
Right.
Like,
they're like tentacles.
To us, we perceive them as like
gross.
As hideous. Right. Humans are like frightened of them and don't want anything to do with them. So they sort of had to like condition her and like force her to become comfortable with them.
They flooded her. Like one of them came into her room and wouldn't leave until she could touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she sort of, I think, acts as like a
liaison between the two to kind of help the other humans acclimate to the fact that these hideous creatures have saved them and now want to live with them. They're
sort of wanting to interbreed with humans.
Right.
Like that's sort of what their species does.
Right.
Is they go to new places and they
call it trading themselves.
Right.
So they've saved humanity and they can do certain things genetically that humans aren't advanced enough to do.
Right.
And in return, they want to intermingle their DNA and kind of create a new species between the two of them.
Prior to this, I think we both only read Kindred by Octavia Butler, which is way less sci-fi-y than this book.
It is.
I had read Bloodchild, which is a short story by her, which is very, like, it's about aliens and stuff too.
I haven't read that.
And about, like, breeding.
Really?
Like, that seems to be kind of a theme a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah, I so far have had a pretty positive experience with Octavia Butler. This book, I will say, this is just the first book in the series, and it's not very long. It's less than 300 pages long. And I was kind of expecting to like it more than I did.
Really?
But I still did really like it.
Yeah, I was pretty crazy about it. I liked it a lot. I blew through it pretty quickly just because I thought it was really...
It was really compelling. Like,
yeah.
you're in it immediately. Because, immediately she's, like, waking up in this, you know, solitary confinement.
Room,
yeah.
Being questioned and trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so it is immediately gripping, and I think that the second book is probably going to be even more interesting.
Yeah, I think based on where the
end of the first book left. I'm pretty excited to read the second book. I had to, like, resist picking it up immediately because I had other things that I needed to read. Too, so I was like, oh, I really just want to keep reading this.
I do too. I want to read the whole series.
I don't know, it's kind of hard to not give, like, too many spoilers. I don't know, I feel like in a way we already, like, it kind of already spoils the entire first book in the synopsis of this one, at least.
Yeah.
Because this is for the whole series.
Right. It does. I mean, I don't know. So we'll just say that this review will not be completely spoiler free.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's only the first book in the series. It's very short, and for me, for my edition, that's a bind up of them all. The back of it kind of the back of it is kind of a synopsis of the entire first book.
Right. Well, and even the synopsis on the first book pretty much, you know, tells you. So, I thought one thing that I thought was interesting that the Owen Colley said that humanity was one of the more interesting species they had encountered, and that they had 2 genetic traits that made them really dangerous. And the 2, I mean, she could have picked anything for that, but she chose intelligence and that they're hierarchical. I can't say that word.
Hierarchical?
Hierarchical.
Is that the right word?
Yeah. Sure. I can't say it. We'll go with that.
Okay.
I'm only like a half a beer in and I can't say that word, so I thought that was interesting that those are the 2 traits that she picked, because she could have picked literally anything about humanity.
Right.
Because I think there's a lot of things that make humans dangerous, but those are the 2 she went with.
Yeah. I think being hierarchical would be dangerous in some ways, because it's kind of like looking back on, like, when I read A Planet for Rent or Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. Like, in those books, things are hierarchical.
It's a hard word.
Can we think of an alternate word for this?
Can we come up with a...
There's a class system.
There's a class system.
There's a class system.
Right.
And in those 2 books, humans are at the bottom
right.
of the class system.
Right.
But because they have that, I mean, it's interesting to think that maybe if other alien species maybe wouldn't even have that, because, you know, all these books, of course, are written by humans.
Right.
So we're gonna obviously
put our own, you know, our own worldview behind it. But yeah. And I think I can see how, like, coupled with the intelligence, that would make it dangerous, because I think then people are better at putting other people below them and kind of scheming to climb to the top and finding ways to subjugate people.
And as soon as she awakens these, because she's put in charge of choosing a group of people, about 40, wasn't it 40 people?
40 people.
To awaken, to return to Earth. And they're going to be living sort of like off the land. And as soon as she awakens these people, there's already conflict and people upset that because she has certain abilities that the Owen Colley have given her that the other people don't have. So she is more powerful than they are.
Right.
And she's also expected to be their leader.
Right.
And a lot of the people
don't like that.
No.
They are not fond of that.
Yeah. And like I've said, it does seem in this story and in Bloodchild, there is sort of a theme of, like, sexuality, interbreeding, especially female sexuality, I think. But in this story, one thing I found interesting was that at one point, these men that she's awake... first of all, the first human, grown, adult human that she meets tries to rape her.
Right.
He's a man.
And he feels
because he's
entitled to sex with her.
Well, they've sort of...
They put that in his head.
I think the aliens sort of told him...
Like, you can fuck her.
Yeah, you're probably going to have sex. Like... But she was not about that. Like, she didn't want to do that, and he tried to force himself on her, but luckily didn't succeed. And then later on in the book, when these other humans have been awakened, two men tried to rape a girl as well, and Lilith comes out and stops them. But at a different point in the book, Lilith and her alien friend,
companion,
what's his name? Or its name. It has no gender.
It has no gender.
Nikanj or Nikanj. I don't remember its name, but they essentially rape
that guy,
Joseph.
Yeah, because Joseph, and then later they're like, well, he really wanted it, but he wasn't able to say that he wanted it because he was embarrassed, basically. But that's not really how that works.
Well, the first time they did it, though, it was straight up rape.
It was straight up rape. And then the second time is he was saying no.
Yeah.
He was not giving them consent.
Right.
And they were like, oh no, you want this. And you're embarrassed. Yeah. And they did it anyway.
So I'm like, it was I found that really interesting that, it was not okay to rape women.
Right.
Or for human men to rape women.
Right. But you could essentially rape this
But Lilith and, the aliens, I think, didn't really care either way in any situation. Right. But Lilith was very against, no, you will not rape me. No, you will not rape this other woman.
But then she was like, it's all right with him.
But then she
encouraged it and, caused it. And maybe, I'm wondering if maybe it had something to do with the fact that the sex with the alien involved no penetration. It was all,
Right. But it was, it did it in intimate. A way.
Yeah.
It was almost penetration because they had to, connect to his, nerve.
His brain box. Right. Yeah. So it was, penetration of your mind.
In a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind penetration. So
so I found that really...
That was weird.
Interesting. Yeah.
And then, when they all coupled like that together, because the alien species worked like that, where they were male and female, but then there were these others that had no gender.
That's Uloi, is that what they were called?
Yeah. Like and that's how they bred. Was the Uloi caused this neural stimulation between the two, and then it chose to impregnate them, and so that's how it worked between all them. But then after the humans did it with the Uloi, they were repulsed by each other.
Yes, it made the humans not want to...
Not touch each other. Yeah.
They only could interact with their Uloi.
Yeah.
And the other human, because they coupled the humans. The humans all coupled off. And that was another thing that, in some ways bothered me a little bit about the story.
People?
There was no gay people.
Right, there's no...
She wakes up these 40 people and all of them are straight. And they immediately couple off in male and female pairs.
Right.
Which it's maybe the aliens chose only straight people.
Maybe, because
that could be because that was their purpose.
Well, no, lesbians, they're not impregnated by... They can use anyone's sperm to impregnate these women.
But they're not going to want to couple off with a man.
No, but they could use some other dude's sperm on both women. If there was a woman-woman pair.
But don't they have to, be a man and a woman? Because it's when they have sex with the alien, there's alien sex in this book.
There's alien sex in this book.
There's weird alien sex.
Yeah.
But it's the alien is sandwiched between the two.
Maybe I'm weird, but... Okay, so Lilith was absolutely, horrified by the idea of, mixing the genes and creating a new species. She was horrified, because then they wouldn't be human anymore, and it was terrible.
Right.
I don't get what the big deal is. I don't understand. They're human-ish, and you guys get to... It's like you're evolving and becoming better.
Yeah. I wonder if that's some sort of comment on, race. A lot of people don't think that...
Right.
People should... intermingle races,
That's true.
I don't think that Octavia Butler is anti...
No. I don't think that at all. Especially because in Kindred, her main character was African American and had a white husband.
Yeah. But there's also some themes of that in Kindred, because in a way these aliens are their slave masters. Sort of. Pretty much, because they can't really do anything unless the aliens let them.
Right.
They have power over the humans.
They do. And I feel like humans are given an illusion of power. You can choose to do this or that, but really they can't.
Right.
Because they...
Yeah, and so, in a way that is similar, in Kindred, the white plantation owner was raping the slaves.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the aliens, since they have so much power, they are raping the humans because they do come in and they drug the humans.
They do. To make them compliant.
Right.
But I feel like if the humans would have been cool with, like, creating a new species, like, if the aliens would have been like, hey, they'll be more powerful and have more abilities, want to do this? And the humans were like, all right.
Yeah, but, I mean, you also have to remember how repulsive the aliens look to the humans.
That's true.
Which, again, that could be another, because, I mean, race is not really real. It's just a thing we see.
Right.
So
melanin in your skin.
Perhaps be another comment on that. Yeah, this book is really interesting so far, and I'm really excited to read the next one because I think it's going to be even more interesting and better than the first one.
I agree.
So I'm pretty pumped to read the second one, which is called Adulthood Rights. In case you were curious. And the last one is called Imago. It's a trilogy. Ooh. I always think the word trilogy should only be saved for fantasy novels. Doesn't it just sound like a fantasy word?
It sounds like a fantasy word.
Yeah. Overall, like, I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it 4 stars.
Me too.
I definitely would recommend it if you're okay with reading about alien sex.
Because there's quite a bit of it. Like, it's not just a...
It's almost a little... Like, it took me a minute to figure out that that's what they were doing.
Yeah, because it's
I was really like, are they having sex? No.
Like, are they fucking right now? Yep, they fucking.
Are they getting it on?
That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, the way they do it is
it's different,
weird.
And it's all, like, in your mind. And she is kind of, like... It's not really graphic. It's really vague, and, like, it's talking about sensations and, like, I don't know. It's not really obvious that they're fucking. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars for both of us.
Yeah, would recommend. If you're into sci-fi.
Yes.
I mean, if you're really not into reading alien stuff, you're probably
not gonna like this.
But
this beer.
So the beer.
I like it better the more I drink it.
Yeah. I'm still not, like, in love with it.
I'm not either.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
It's Iron Maiden, so that's cool.
That's pretty bitchin'.
Yeah.
As per usual, there will be links down below where you can find us elsewhere on social media.
And if you have not subscribed yet, please do. I feel like I'm doing a
please do.
Air traffic or a stewardess.
Yeah. You'll find your exits clearly marked here and here.
Yes. And thank you, everyone, for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.